So you want to survive in the woods, living on the land, or you just got lost and you need to know how to survive. I'll be your guide. This is How to Survive in the Woods. This video will be talking about forests in the northern hemisphere, mostly Canada. So after you get lost out there, the first thing you'll need is shelter. Luckily for you, there is many ways of creating shelter. Just use sticks around you and find a place to put them. I say the best place to build your shelter is in between two trees, so you can lean the sticks on it and use the tree as a sort of protection from the rain. Make sure that your shelter is on a hill and away from low points so that your shelter cannot be flooded. After you created your shelter, put enough sticks to the side of your trees and go look for dry grass to put on top of your shelter to further its waterproofing. Make sure to put an extra layer of sticks on top of your grass so the grass layer doesn't blow away. But you can tie it down, but that takes a little bit of time, so. The next thing to do is create fire. Don't worry, humans have harnessed the power of fire for 600,000 years. The first thing you need to do is find small dry sticks and maybe lichen if you can find it. This lichen will be your fire starter. Next you will need two sticks and begin to rub them together to create friction, which will create heat. When the sticks start to smoke, keep rubbing them even harder until they start to glow very hot. Now get some of the hot coals onto the lichen and blow on the lichen to start a flame. Then add small sticks to your fire and to keep the fire going, blow on it, and put larger and larger sticks to create your fire. The next important thing to do is find water. Look for low-lying areas for ponds or rivers. If you can find a river, that water's probably clean, but you might want to boil the water. Same for if you find a pond, but how will you carry the water to boil it over your fire? Do not drink the water before you boil it because you can get very sick from the water. To boil your water, you might need a bowl or a pot. Tools, I say, are much more important than food because you can use tools to create traps or to straight up kill the creature. You can make lots of tools like bows, arrows, shovels, knives, axes, and bows. You can use bowls made from clay or pottery, same thing, to bring water to boil over the fire. To make bowls, you will need clay. To find clay, you will need to look underground or on the side of a riverbank. To dig for the clay, you can find a rock that looks like a shovel look to it, and just use that to dig up the clay. Now, by the side of your water source and a flat rock, maybe even the shovel, put some clay next to it and put your clay down on top of the rock. Add some water on it, and then mix them together, and then flatten the rock out to a plate shape. Then get more clay and make long cylinders to put around the edge of the plate. And then use a stick to put grooves on top of the edges of the plate, more on the built up side of your pot. Then let your pot dry. During that time you can make more pots or something else. After your pot dried, put your pot in the fire. This will harden your pot and make it waterproof or less harder to break. Let your fire get really hot, then let it die, or use a stick to push the pot out of the fire. Now you can use your pot to boil water. If you want to make a bow, you will need a benti stick and something like a string. Maybe some weave grass or a cut in half sapling or even some animal hide, but that'll be after you kill your first animal. Tie your string to the curved stick and now you got a bow. Next you'll need arrows. To make arrows, you'll need a rock and a stick to sharpen. You will use a flat rock and water to grind your arrowhead into a sharp point. Then put a slit into the stick and insert your arrowhead. And use weave grass or sapling strap or any type of string you have to the arrowhead onto the stick. And now you may add a feather or leaf to the end of the arrow for more stability. To create a knife, you should get a roughly long, sharp rock, and use your bowl with water and flat rock, wet the flat rock, and then start grinding the two rocks together to sharpen your rock, the knife one, into a knife shape. Wow, this step took way too long. There are many varieties of food that you can eat out in the woods, but there are also dangers in eating some types of plants and animals. If you are hunting, you should go for small game like rabbits or something small because you're probably not going to have a good chance killing a deer or a caribou. And do not attempt to kill any large predators because you won't be the only one eating tonight. For plant-based foods, your best bet is, and also worst bet is berries because they're the really easy to find, but most appear to be poisonous. That will give you rashes and more, plus possible death. To determine if berries are safe, rub it on your skin, and if it doesn't give you a rash about 15-ish minutes, put it in your mouth, and if no rash/reaction in another 15 minutes, eat it. And now that you have a safe berry food source, for other plant-based food, I don't know, use the same steps for the berries and hope you don't die. Now that you know the basic skills, you can improve on them and to create better tools, structures, and maybe even start to farm. Thanks for watching.